वागीशाद्या सुमनसः सत्त्वार्थानामुपक्रमे यं नत्वा कृतकृत्या स्युः नमामि गजाननम् कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं वाल्मीकिमुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को न ज्ञाति परां गतिं यः पिबन् सततं रामचरितामृतसागरम् अतृप्तस्तं मुनिं वन्दे प्राचेतसमकल्मषम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां योगिनं विश्वनाथाख्यम् अस्मत्तातस्वरूपिणम् आत्मलाभात् परं लाभं वक्तारं न कदाचन गीतार्थग्रन्थकर्तारं श्रीगुरुं प्रणमाम्यहम् योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मे वाचं धृतिं बुद्धिं प्रचोदयात् ॐ नमः सभाभ्यः सभापतिभ्यश्च भो नमः ॐ Friends, we are going to be doing Sanatana Dharma 18th session now. Actually, I am going to be doing Aditya Hridayam from Valmiki Ramayana in 2 sessions. This is the first of the 2 sessions. Aditya Hridayam, 1 of 2. Veda Pracheta Sadasiti Sakshat Ramayanatmanam. It was the Veda itself that manifested in the form of Ramayana by Valmiki. Vedaischa sarvehi agameva vedyaha, Krishna says in the Gita. I am the one to be known from all the Vedas. These 2 authentic quotes, Veda pracheta sadasi sakshat Ramayanatmana. Veda itself manifested as Ramayana. And Bhagavan says all the Vedas, what they have to say only about me. Vedaischa sarvair ahameva vidya. If you want to know the essence of the Vedas, it is me, says Krishna. So these 2 authentic quotes are enough to establish that the core principle in the Ramayana is nothing but the Absolute itself. So you are going to be seeing Ramayana from the angle of Vedanta now. The core principle is nothing but the Absolute. Ramayana means, that is the means, ayana means to reach that absolute light. What is the absolute light? That is Rama. To have an insight into that all-pervading effervescence, which is Rama, that is meant by Rama Darshanam. This is the essence of Ramayana. The Gita also emphasizes this in the sloka Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sachame na pranashyati. So the Gita emphasizes that whoever sees me in everything, sees everything in me, he is the one closest to me. So the blissful form, that is the Lord, is certainly known by various forms and names, but the reality is one only. Yomam pashyati sarvatra. Everywhere you have to see me. Valmiki himself underscores this when he writes in the Ayodhya Kanda. Yascharabam na pashyetyu yancharabam na pashyati. Yascharabam na pashyetyu yancharabam na pashyati. Swatmapyenam vigarhate, says he there. So, that is, whoever sees Rama, whoever sees in Rama everything, he is the one. If he does not do that, then he is nothing. Whoever does not see Rama, and whomsoever it is who is not seen by Rama, such a person is at the low end of the populace, says Valmiki himself. In fact, at the end of the epic, Valmiki declares that everyone in Ramarajya attained the spiritual peak of seeing Rama as omnipresent. He waxes eloquent, says that the entire world became full of Rama, Ramamayam Jagate. So this universal perception of the Absolute is the goal of the entire epic. I am saying all this because this is the first thing you must understand about Ramayana itself, so that you can understand the Aditya Hridayam. The essence of Ramayana is the universal perception of the Absolute. And the Aditya Hridayam, which comes as the only stotra in the whole of Ramayana. You know, in Mahabharata, you will find all kinds of stotras and all kinds of Vedantic discussions everywhere. But it is in Ramayana, the only stotra that you find is the Aditya Hridaya stotra. And the goal of the epic, which cannot be forgotten in the goal of this stotra. In every one of our lives, our spiritual goal should be discard everything that is sense perceptible only by the senses. Become one with the Absolute. This must be our goal, spiritual goal. The very avatar of Rama is to propagate this. Dharma margam charitrena jnana margam chanamna. By his name, he propagates the path of wisdom, and by his behavior, by his daily activities, he propagated the dharma marga. Dharma margam charitrena. So, in fact, the very key mantra of Ramayana is Dharmatma Satyasandascha Ramo Dasharathyajyati Purushecha Pratitvandvaham Sharainam Jahirapanim. Where does this occur? Yuddha Kanda. Lakshmana is fighting with Indrajit. The last arrow he gives. Dharmatma Satyasandascha Ramo Dasharathyajyati. If Rama, the Dasharatha's son Rama, if it is true that he is a Dharmatma, he is a Satyasandaha, lives by truth only and Dharma only. Dharmatma Satyasandasya Ramo Dasharathyajyati Purushecha Pratitvandvah Sharainam Jahiravanim. In his valor, he has no match. If these three things are true, let this go and kill Indrajit. And it does. So this incorporates the truth of Ramayana. This blissful absolute is what is explained in the Aditya Hridaya Stotra. That is what we should first understand. Aditya Hridaya Stotra, on the face of it, it is a praise of the sun god. But you will see what it actually means from in Vedanta. Its purpose is to propagate this for the welfare of the world. Not that it was not known to Rama. You see, what it explains is the multiplicity of manifestation of absolute reality. But Rama himself is the absolute reality. So there is no point in explaining to Rama his own Rama Swarupa, that his absolute reality, he is the absolute reality. You go and tell Rama, what do you have to? But Rama had to play the role of a human being till the destruction of Ravana. So, to respect and be true to that subtlety, Agastya, one of the greatest rishis of all times, Agastya used the artifice of the sun god to explain the various attributes of the attributed absolute, of the Saguna Brahman. The sun god is only an artifice. It is the absolute reality he is talking about. By the way, Agastya had several important roles in the Ramayana. Vanquishing of Ravana had to happen. That is the purpose for which Rama had descended on the earth. So vanquishing of Rama has to happen. Two major instruments were needed for that. Both of them were given by Agastya. Ravana had been given enormous powers by Brahma. Brahma is the one who always gives boons to people who do penance. And of course later he regrets it. Right? Ravana had been given enormous powers by Lord Brahma himself in recognition of his intense tapas. To vanquish Ravana, the astra needed was the one consecrated by Brahma's name, Brahmastra. Brahmastra was needed. That was given by Agastya to Rama. So Agastya gave Brahmastra to Rama. And the other thing that Agastya gave was this Aditya Hridaya Stotra. Aditya Hridaya Stotra occurs in Sarga 107 of Yuddhakanda of Valmiki Ramayana. It contains about 35 to 38 shlokas. We are going to see not all of that, but the most important of them. The Aditya Hridaya Stotra, therefore, has as its content the glories of the absolute Brahman. First, let us recapitulate the context. What has happened? The war has started between Rama's army of monkeys, and Ravana's army of Rakshasas. We have come to the latter part now. Almost so many people are already gone. Kumbhakarna is gone. Ravana's son Indrajit is also gone. And the most trusted army of Ravana, called Moola Bala, core army, core brigade, the last brigade of Ravana, has also been vanquished. So now Ravana loses his patience and comes himself to the war field, along with Mahodara, Virupaksha and Mahaparshva, the great Rakshasas, of course. Ravana says, I will avenge the death of all my relatives on this single day. In one day I will avenge the death of all my relatives so far. Only then I will retire from the war field, says he in a fierce, aggressive tone, and comes to the war field. The war takes a very fierce stage. Sugriva overcomes. These details are not necessary for us, so I am only quickly covering the context. Sugriva overcomes Virupaksha, also Mahodara, and kills him. Angada puts an end to Mahaparshva. The direct fight between Rama and Ravana starts now. In between, Lakshmana also accosts Ravana, and Lakshmana receives on his chest the Shakti weapon which was aimed by Ravana on Vibhishana. Lakshmana comes in front of Vibhishana and receives it on his chest. Lakshmana falls down, losing his consciousness. Rama, as a normal being, weeps. It's very surprising. You see, I have seen, Deshe Deshe Kalatrani, Deshe Deshe Bandavaha, in every desha, every country, I can get wives, I can get relatives, but I cannot get a brother like you, Lakshmana, and he weeps. These famous words are very famous in Valmiki Ramayana. Hanuman has to fly to the Himalayas and bring back the necessary herb in the form of the Oshadhi mountain. And this makes Lakshmana regain consciousness. From the next day, continuously, for 9 days, Rama and Ravana fight each other directly. Rama Ravanayor Yuddham, Rama Ravanayor Yubhe, Gaganam Gaganakaram, Sagaram Sagaropamam. Beautiful words by Valmiki. Can you give an analogy to space? Gaganam Gaganakaram, Sagaram Sagaropamam. For the ocean, what analogy would you give? Sagaram Sagaropamam. Ocean is like the ocean. Space is like space. Rama Ravanayor Yuddham. The Yuddha, the fight, the war, the battle between Rama and Ravana. The only analogy is Rama Ravanayor Yuddham. The same thing. There is no analogy for that. The celestial king Indra sends his chariot and charioteer Matali to Rama. Ravana aims his Shula weapon, Shula, on Rama, and Rama meets it by his Shakti weapon, nullifies it. Rama showers a rain of Ramabana, arrows, on Ravana, and Ravana falls in his own chariot, unconscious, losing consciousness. The Ravana's charioteer is very smart. He takes him away from the battlefield. Later Ravana regains consciousness, but the fight did not continue then, because Rama says to Ravana, go and take rest. Come tomorrow. We shall fight then. it was the next morning, before the war starts again, that Agastya comes and gives the Aditya Hridaya Stotra to Rama. Compare the great Bhagavad Gita. It is one of the three great ultimate authorities for all Vedanta. That Bhagavad Gita also arose in the midst of a warring environment. It appears in Hindu scriptural tradition quite unexpectedly from the flow of the story, of the main story. These Puranas and Itihasas have the habit of bringing in a great piece of Vedantic content, substantial Vedantic content. What does this mean? Maybe they want to tell us that even in the very midst of our being immersed in perceptible worldly affairs, that is, we are confronting the Drishya Prapancha. In the entire Drishya Prapancha work that we are involved, even in the midst of that, we should not lose sight of the unseen absolute reality. It's a beautiful principle. The Puranas follow it. In fact, even in such a circumstance, one has to be a Sthita Prajna. That is what the Gita says. So maybe such a person may be one in a million. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatadisiddhaye yatatam abhisiddhanam kaschin mam veti tattvataha. Even those who try, only one man. So 1 in a million it might be. But that is the ideal. Teaching Arjuna the Gita was also just a semblance. The real reason being the message to posterity on the philosophy of the Upanishads. Krishna taught Arjuna and used Arjuna to tell you, me, everybody who followed after thousands of years, the whole world, the philosophy of the Upanishads. In the same way, here in the Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, Agastya uses the artifice of the sun god, Surya, and teaches the Aditya Hridaya. Aditya Hridaya means sun, Hridaya, the core. I will tell you the meaning shortly. Teaches the Aditya Hridaya to Rama himself, explaining the divine circumstance, exploiting the divine circumstance that Rama had to play the role of a human being until the demise of Ravana. Rama has to be a human being, has to appear, has to enact the drama of a human being until Ravana dies, because that is the boon he has got from Brahma. Except, he did not mention man, everything else he has mentioned. So he cannot die from any other cause. So that is why he came as a human being. The divines, of course, were watching the spectacle of this fight between Rama and Ravana. It's a 9-day war. The 9-day war seemed to have tired Rama. Yuddha Parishrantam, that is how the Aditya Hridaya Stotra begins. Sarga 107 of Valmiki Ramayana. He must have looked very tired. So he must be thinking how to kill this Ravana who appears to be invincible. This must have been the question in Rama's mind. It was at that time Agastya appears on the scene. And he says, Rama Rama Mahabaho Shunubhiskyam Sanatanam Yena Sattvanaren Vatsa Samare Yajayishri. Rama Rama Mahabaho, hey Rama, hey great warrior, Shunubhiskyam Sanatanam, listen to this ancient secret prayer by which you can vanquish all your enemies. Yena Sarvan Arin Vatsa Samare Vijayishri. Aditya Hridayam Punyam Sarva Shatru Vinashanam. It can vanquish every enemy. Sarva Shatru Vinashanam. Jaya Avagam Japain Nityam Akshayam Param Shubham. It will give you an imperishable Paramam Sukham. Sarva Mangala Mangalyam. It is Mangala more auspicious than the most auspicious one. Sarvamangalamangallem, Sarvapapa Pranashanam. It can eradicate all sins as well as all worries and miseries. It can increase one's length of life, right? Chinta Ashoka Prasamanam, Ayurvardhanam Uttamam. It can increase one's length of life. Rashmimantam Samudyantam, Deva Asura Namaskritam. The sun god, whom all the devas and the asuras have been prostrating before him, Pujayasva Vivaswantam, propitiate him. Pujayasva. Mark the word Pujayasva. Shloka number 6 of Aditya Hridaya Stotra. Pujayasva Vivaswantam Bhaskaram Bhuvaneshwaram. Excuse me, gentlemen, you must have the book with you. I am not in a position to show you the entire Aditya Hridaya here. The rest of the lecture, you will need the book, Aditya Hridaya book. It is easily available. Almost all Stotra books have an Aditya Hridaya Stotra. So then, Pujayasva Vivaswantam Bhaskaram Bhuvaneshwaram. Bhaskara is the sun. Pujayasva. So propitiate him. Remember, the message is also for us. For us ordinary people, he is asking us to propitiate the sun. Vivaswantam Bhaskaram. Vivaswantam means the son of Vaivaswata, Manu. Bhaskaram, the sun. But he is addressing Rama. Rama is the supreme reality. So Pujayasva, what does it Pujayasva means? Here starts the Vedanta meaning. Rama doing a puja to the sun god looks a little childish. Pujayasva Atmatvena Janihi. Atmatvena Janihi. Here Rama, understand your real self. Agastya is reminding Rama of his own infiniteness. So Pujayasva. Understand, recall, remember yourself. So we shall look at the meanings in the rest of the Aditya Hridaya Stotram, not in their ordinary meanings, but in the Vedantic meaning, which certainly would have been understood by Rama. Bhaskaram, Bhaskaram, Jnana Jnaya Bhasaha Karoti iti Bhaskaraha. Jnana Jnaya Bhaskaraha. The sun itself is now taken as the absolute reality. Yes, that is so. That is so. Deya Sada Savitra Mandala Madhyavarti Narayana Sarasija Asana Sannivishtavam. Daily we propitiate the sun god in our Sandhya Vandana. And we say, Deya Sada Savitra Mandala Madhyavarti. In that solar region, there is somebody, that is the sun god. He is to be meditated on every day. Jayasada Savitra Mandala Madhyavarti. But what is he? Narayana Sarasija Asana Sannivishta. He is Narayana, the Absolute himself. So, Jnana Jnaya Bhasaha Karoti. He lightens, enlightens, lights up. Jnana and Jnaya. Jnana is knowledge. Jnaya is the thing to be known. So, he is able to light both the jnana and the jnaya, the knowledge and the thing to be known. That is why he is Bhaskara. Jnana jnaya bhasaha karoti. So he makes it shine. Bhasak karoti means he makes it shine. Makes what shine? The jnana shine. The jnaya shine. Everything is one. Jnana, jnaya, jnata, all these things are one, namely the self. So he makes the knowing and the knowledge shine forth. Vivaswantam. By his rise, he activates every activity. Sodayena, by his rise, Swa Udayena, Sakala Vyavahara Pravartakatvat. He starts all the activities in the entire world. If you think of the sun god, but actually it is the absolute God, reality that does it. He is the base of support for every transaction. Sakala Vyavahara Adhishtanatvat. Without him nothing will happen on this earth. That is the sun. That is the ordinary meaning. But really, Without God, nothing will happen. God is the light. With all these preliminaries, Agastya begins the stotra. Sarvadevatmako hyeshagam tejasvi rasmi bhavanaha. Seventh shloka. From shloka number 7 of Aditya Hridayam to shloka number 24, there are 18 shlokas. 7 to 24. 18 shlokas. These 18 shlokas constitute the stotra enunciated by Agastya. Remember, 18 is a very important number in Hindu religion and philosophy. The Gita has 18 chapters. The Ramayana, in every Kanda, the 18th chapter, there is a turning point. For example, in the 18th chapter of Balakanda, there is the Rama Avatar. In the 18th chapter of Yuddhakanda, there is the Vibhishana Sharanagati. That is the turning point there. In the 18th chapter of Ayodhya Kanda, Kaikeyi's mind is changed and she asks for Rama to go to the forest. Do not mistake this Aditya Hridaya Stotra as an ordinary piece of divine praise. It is a mantra. The essence of Ramayana, of course, is the expatiation of the blissful ultimate reality. So the stotra also should be understood from that viewpoint. What was the purpose of the avatar of Rama? To vanquish Ravana. And who is Ravana? He is none but the ahankara in us, ego. That is Ravana. He has taken root in us over several lives. We have the attachment to many varied things. We have developed the possessive instinct in everything that is associated with our body, mind and intellect. Excuse me. आशापाशशतैर्बद्धाः कामक्रोधपरायणाः ईहन्ते कामभोगार्थम् अन्यायेनार्थसक्षयान् इदमद्यमया लब्धम्. This is the Gita. We are tossed here and there by ashapashashatai, by desire, by compassion. Compassion means attachment. Ashapashashatayir baddha, hundreds of desires, hundreds of attachment. Ashapashashatayir baddha. This is in 16th chapter of the Gita. He describes, of course, the worst type of people. But I think to be really humble, we should be included there. Ashapashashatayir baddha kamakrodhaparayana. We are overcome by kama and krodha. Ihante kama bhogartam anyayena artha sanchayan. We are always after the fulfillment of our desires and we collect, accumulate property, possession, everything by not always the right legal means. Right? We compromise. Idam adhyamaya labdham idam prapsye manodham. I have got this. I have got my fulfillment. Idam asti idam apime bhavishyati punardhanam. I must get something more. It is not enough. I have got now 10,000 in my bank. I must make it 1,00,000. It goes on. Idam adhyamaya labdham idam prapsye manoratham aso maya gata shatruhu. I have killed him now. I have vanquished him. Whoever else comes like that, I will vanquish him. These are ordinary thoughts. Not all of us go to that extreme. But analyze your own thought in your mind. You will see that we have traces of such things. So, this is all due to our ego in us. Only by vanquishing this ahankara, this ego, can we realize the Atma within us. To destroy this ahankara, so that the shelf shines by its own glory. This is the intent of the story of Ramayana. So let us understand it. The Supreme Self is Rama. First, he kills the undesirable vasanas inherent in us. This is indicated by the destruction of Tataka. So I am going to quickly go through the various stages where he vanquishes the various passions and desires that overcome us. Once the bad vasanas are destroyed, we have to string our mind into a strict discipline. This is done by Dhanurbhanga, the breaking of Shiva's bow by Rama. Stringing our mind into a straight discipline. From then on, one has to get involved in the affairs of this material world. But remember, without the association of Prakriti, one's life journey itself is not possible. So Rama gets into wedlock with Sita, the Prakriti. She is the incarnation of Maya, Maya Shakti, Prakriti of Goddess Lakshmi. But this means involvement of every action of the material world. But this involvement has to be without attachment, without raga. So there is a renunciation involved. The raga has to be renounced. So renunciation in this involvement of the affairs of the world without attachment. Rama exemplifies this. He shows us the way. This renunciation is shown by him, by his marathon act of renouncing the very crown that was offered to him the previous day. This is the grand renunciation, Mahatyaga. That is the key point in the whole story. You know that. And thereon, one gets into the forest of Dandaka. What is Dandaka? The forest of samsara, the transmigration cycle. We have to be doing our duties. Dandaka forest is nothing but the samsara that we have to cross. We have to cross that ocean of samsara. The king of this forest of samsara is the 10-headed Ravana, Ahankara. Why does he have 10 heads? 10 senses. These 10 senses are drawing us into several directions. His gang, but we are not able to encounter this Ahankara head on. We are not able to do that because his gang is far and wide. We have to kill them one by one, vanquish every one of them, his subordinates one by one. So then, the destruction of Kama, Krodha, Lobha starts. These are the Kara, Dushana and Trishiras who appear in the Aranyakanda, the first fight of Rama with the Rakshasas. The 3 Rakshasas with whom Rama fights in the Dandaka forest. Then comes Moha, delusion, in the form of Maricha. Then one has to destroy the non-discrimination. Aviveka has to be destroyed. Who is Aviveka? Vali. And make a lasting friendship with Viveka. One is Aviveka, one is Viveka. Viveka is discrimination. And then we get the most trusted lieutenant, Hanuman, Bhakti, in the form of Hanuman. Bhakti is our most trusted lieutenant. He is the one, Bhakti is the one who helps us to find our enemy and also its headquarters. Bhakti will take us and we'll be able to destroy our enemies. Once we resort to Bhakti, the physical body that is Lanka has to be destroyed, has to be burnt. What does it mean? Even when we are alive, we should have nothing to do with this body or its going on. This is the Lanka Dahanam of Ramayana. See, you have to look at the Ramayana in the Vedantic way. Lanka Dahanam is the nullification of the human body, mind, intellect. then we can take the support of Utsaha. Utsaha means perseverance and zeal. Utsaha is Vibhishana. Take the support of him. Now we are ready to cross the ocean of ignorance. But before we cross, we crown the zeal, the Utsaha that promised to support us, which is ours now. So Vibhishana Pattabhisheka. Now we are ready to brave and destroy the several associates of Ahankara. Who are they? Mada, arrogance in the form of Kumbhakarna. Jealousy, Indrajit. Jealousy is Matsarya in the form of Indrajit. This takes us to face the root enemy, Ahankara, right face to face. But it is no easy task to destroy this Ahankara. Our own real nature is Jnana. The body is inert. So any aggressive attitude towards the body, mind, intellect, that is not called for. That strategy, of course, will quell the fierceness of the ego. So we have to propitiate this Jnana nature of ours. Our innate nature is Jnana. We have to recognize it. We have to propitiate it. That our nature is nothing but Brahman. So we have to propitiate it. This propitiation is what originates the Aditya Hridaya Stotra. This is what takes place in the 18 shlokas that follow. We shall take the 18 shlokas from shloka number 7 in the next session. Swastik prajabhya paripalayantam nyayena markena makhim mahishaah ho brahmanebhya shubhaschya nityam lokas samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Tat Sat.